everybody. This video is dedicated to the always inspiring and talented The Whispering Voice. Now please enjoy our cooking video made for you. We call this video My Hamburger, a personal interpretation of our all-time favorite My Salad video by The Whispering Voice.
The key to a great burger, in my opinion, is a bit of spice. So, we have a lot of color here. Green, orange, and red chili peppers. Now, I'm just going to take the ends off here. Trying to not make too much waste. And do the same with this one. Chop, chop, chop. Now, if you didn't already notice, I'm talking in some ways like the Whispering Voice. Not in the sounds that I'm making, but in some of the things that I hear him say. This is really more out of habit of listening to his videos every night when I'm in bed or when I am studying for exams. One thing I will say though is that his videos always put me to sleep. Now, back to the chopping. Now, I recently watched his new video, Cooking in the Woods. Sorry about that if you hear the cat. She's around me right now, looking for attention. Yes, now his cooking video. He said, this isn't anything you're going to see on MasterChef. And the same goes for this video. But it is very tasty, and it is something everybody can do. So, almost have them all chopped up now. And these are going to be very nice. I love a bit of spice. So, we have some nice color here.
Now you can just mix them up a little bit with your hands. I prefer to use my hands during cooking most of the time, as it saves dishes and you don't have as much work after you're done with your cooking and get to eat your creation.
chance to sit back down because she's always there. And then I have to sit on the stool because you won't get her off it. Now, sorry if you are disgusted by me holding the onions and the chilies, but this is just for us and my hands are clean. So now I don't know, dice them a little bit, make them into fine pieces. Again, this is no technique I learned off Master Chef, and I'm not a culinary expert, but I suppose I can get the job done. Yeah, looks very nice. I quite like onions. I also quite like spring onions. So, that's that done. I think that's enough of the onions now. So, I'm just going to mix the chilies with them. Now, there are a lot more onions, but we'll use them all anyway. Now, just the chilies were a bit too big, so again, cutting them into smaller pieces, just so they fit a bit better with the meat. Now I hope this isn't boring you. I know you make similar videos, but I feel like I might be going off a bit of a tangent here. So
Now we've purchased in you, like we did, forget about it, this is absolutely no problem as well to do it afterwards. You can see the onions and chili seeds and pepper in that. The next thing you can already start doing is to go to the oven and switch on a pan. Put some oil in it, because by now it seems like that preparation has taken forever, and you really want to eat those as soon as possible.
So, here we go. These are going to go into the pan now. That's preheated with oil in it. So, now the buns go in the oven, and we take the finished meat out and just let it cook through a little bit more. That looks beautiful. Yes. Now, here's just some mayonnaise. And I love mayonnaise. And I think it's a perfect topping on a burger. Perfect sauce topping. Okay. Now, I always dress the top part of the buns and just leave the bottom plain, because I think that's enough, really. Now, just from earlier, a little bit of peri-peri sauce. Oh, whoops. Now, that again gives it more spice. So, as you can see now, I'm probably seem a bit mad to you. I mean, now this is shredded lettuce, and of course it's already pre-cut, and we're gonna put it on here like so, just like that. And that is perfect. I wouldn't be able to eat it without lettuce. I don't know, strange really. So there you go. Now, finally, don't worry, this will be the last step that I'll bore you with, and that's just putting the meat on the burgers and placing it, and then just kind of patting the bun down as to kind of make it compact or whatever. So they look very nice.
But don't they look delicious? Now you just add the bottom and flip them over. And there you have it. No problem if you had a little hiccup when cutting the buns. It's all still very nice. Very nice indeed. The cat she suggested.